everybody. How are you? Welcome to Yoga with Shannon. I'm Shannon. So excited to be here with you this Wednesday. Hump day. We made it, right? Yes, we made it. Good thing. So whether you've had a great week, a not so great week, maybe a bad week, stressful week, however it's been going, it is time to reset, restore ourselves, and realign ourselves. Yes, get ourselves centered, ready for the rest of the week, and ready for the weekend. Okay? So let's grab our normal stuff. 2 blocks, a strap, 2 bolsters, a blanket, and I'm going to meet you on the mat. So I'm thinking we're going to start with a blanket. I'd like you to fold the blanket, and we're going to have a seat on it. So when you're sitting on it, make sure your hips are higher than your knees. This is kind of comfortable. Okay, we're just going to sit in Sukhasana. No brace today on the foot. See how that goes? Been feeling pretty good. All right, so sit with your legs crossed at the shin. Flex your feet. Okay. Make sure you're sitting evenly on those sit bones. Yes? Press the sit bones into the mat. Imagine you grounding yourself. Imagine the sit bones reaching all the way down to the center of Mother Earth. Okay? When you feel grounded, you feel like you can handle anything. Any challenge can come on, you're ready for it. You feel stable. Okay? So being grounded is a wonderful thing. And if you use your imagination and just imagine parts of you grounding down, you start to feel grounded. So as you're grounding those sit bones down, I want you to be aware of the torso. Okay? Keep the torso flat back. Lengthen all 4 sides of your torso while your shoulders stay relaxed. We're going to soften the ribs, meaning don't stick out the chest or the ribs, which happens a lot when we lengthen our torsos. For some reason we want to, okay, or we want to do this. So just relax the shoulders. Yes. Have your chin parallel to the mat. We're going to place both hands on our knees just for a moment. You can let your eyes softly close. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Let's do that again. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. I want you to tap into your body as we always do. We want to start with the body scan. Always want to connect with how you're feeling, right? And once you connect with how you're feeling, you keep that awareness at least until the end of class. If you can start connecting to how you're feeling and keeping the awareness throughout your day, oh my God, you're winning the game. Right? A lot of times we're working and moving on autopilot. And when you're on autopilot, you're not really feeling much. You're just going through motions, right? And maybe you wouldn't go through the motions if you were feeling it. So tap in a little bit more. Become aware of how you're feeling. And bring awareness to all realms. Yes, your physical realm, your emotional realm. How is your mental realm? How's your spiritual realm? Okay, we've got many layers as beings. So you don't want to just see how you're feeling physically. That's a start. Okay. All right. Let's begin relaxing the muscles in the face, meaning don't tighten them. Don't squinch up your eyes or frown or bite a lip or bite a tongue. You want to relax the bottom jaw from the top. tongue just hang out, not touch the bottom or the roof of the mouth. Just kind of rest in the middle. And as you're bringing awareness into the rest of your body, how's it feeling? Are you feeling any tension in your neck? How about those shoulders from typing all day? Right? Do you have any head tension? Any tension in your arms? How are your wrists from typing all day? Your fingers? Any tension in your back from overarching or slouching? Maybe tension in your hips? Sometimes even tension in the butt, right? The butt muscles get tight because the hamstrings are tight, and then the back gets tight. All of that stuff is grouped together. How about those thighs? Are they tense or are they relaxed? Your calves. Even your feet. My God, they do a lot of work. Carrying all of our weight, right? All the time. So keep the awareness. Taking another deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, let it out. Let's go ahead and set an intention for class today. Let's release our hands down by our side. You can open your eyes, uncross your legs, rotate your ankles if it feels good, and cross with the other leg in front. All right, let's lift the arms up. I want you to lace your fingers together. Keep those shoulders relaxed, okay? Place your left thumb on top. Go ahead and switch your hands so that the palms are facing towards the ceiling. Now, continue to keep those shoulders relaxed. I want you to adjust your hands and lower those pinkies towards your head as the thumb side lifts up. Okay? As this is happening, you might feel a little lifting in the upper back. You might feel a little lengthening in your torso. And as this lengthening is happening, you might feel a little bit more grounded through your sit bones. Okay? Let's take a deep breath in. Release the hands. We're going to go ahead and lower the arms and hands down. And let's do that again. Breathing in, arms up. Go ahead and lace those fingers together again. This time the right thumb is on top. We're going to flip the palms upward again. And still try to adjust the hands so that those pinkies are shifting down towards you. Imagine you have your hands flat on the ceiling. What type of rotating do you need to do to your wrists and hands to have your hands flat? I feel like the pinkies need to come down, the thumbs need to go up, just causing a little bit of tension in the forearms because they're usually not used to doing this. We're going to take another deep breath in. As you're exhaling, release those fingers. Let the hands and arms down by your side. Good job. All right, let's go ahead and lengthen the legs out. You can flex your feet if you'd like, or you can point your toes, okay? I want you to bend opposite knees and kind of move your hips from side to side as you're doing this. Stretch those legs out. Stretch the hips out. I even feel the stretching happening in my back. So depending on where you're tight or tense, you might feel the stretching in different places. Okay, beautiful. Let's stop that. Okay, we're going to get off the blanket. You can take the blanket to the side. let us get onto our hands and knees. All right, we're going to soften the neck. Have your knees hip distance apart, all 10 toes touch. Hands are shoulder distance apart, spreading the fingers wide. Let's go ahead and uncurl the toes. Lift up, tailbone towards the ceiling. And let's come into downward facing dog. Let's take our feet to the outer edges of the mat. So I want your pinky toes along the edges, okay? And you're going to take your hands. We're going to grab the mat so your thumbs are on top and forefingers are on the bottom. And we're going to stretch. I want you to push your feet back, and imagine you're pushing, or pull your feet back rather, and you're trying to push your hands forward. Soften the neck and back. Continue to breathe. If it feels good to you to bend your knees, please do so. Just continue to lift the tailbone up towards the ceiling. And if you can feel a stretch, it lengthens your back when you lift your tailbone. Okay? Deep breath in through the nose. Let it out. Beautiful. Place the heels down. Bring your feet back together so that they're about hip distance apart. Remove your hands from underneath the mat. Go ahead and place both hands flat on the mat. Bend your knees. I'd like you to look between your hands or look forward. Step forward. We're going to lift up halfway as we come into Ardha Uttanasana. Deep breath in. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees if the legs are tight. Continue to breathe. All right, we're going to go ahead and place our hands on our hips. Let's lift it all the way up. Ooh, that stretch was feeling really good. If you notice, I stayed there for about 2 breaths. There's a stretching that happens in the back when you lengthen yourself that way. Oh my God, it feels so amazing to me. I'm a little tight up here around the hamstrings, around the shoulder blades. So that stretching feels good. The lengthening feels good. All right, guys, let's have our feet hip distance apart. And go ahead and place your hands together at the heart. Anjali Mudra, okay? Elbows out. Soften the neck. Let the head bow down. Pressing both feet firmly into the mat. So remember, we were grounding ourselves with our sit bones. Now we're grounding ourselves with our feet. So you're going to imagine the same thing. Imagine the feet pressing down, hitting the center of the earth. Grounding yourself, ready for anything, challenges, ready for yoga, right? Ready for any pose, right? Anything life has to send your way, you're ready for it. All right, let's go ahead and breathe in, lift those arms up, look at your hands, lengthen that torso as we come into extended arms and mountain pose. Be careful with those shoulders, keep them relaxed away from your ears. Engage your core. Let's do a full circle out as we come into the open heart pose. Hands on your sacrum, elbows in. Lengthen your spine as you lean back. Deep breath in. We're going to lean forward. Resting the torso on the thighs, hands on the mat, palms up, coming into Lunge Uttanasana. So what we're doing right now is called a moon salutation. We are honoring the moon. Even though the sun is out, we're going to give the moon a shout out. Place your hands down. Step that left foot back, just on the ball of the foot, and let's come into a low lunge. Right knee is directly over the ankle, so you might need to slide your foot forward. Press those hips forward. Release the shoulders back. Remember, you're pressing back through the heels to feel the stretch in the calf. As you breathe in, start to straighten your right leg. We're going to turn counterclockwise, turning towards that left foot. Both feet are parallel, hands are centered. Let's go ahead and bend that left knee, resting the the foot on the heel. Feel that stretch on your inner thigh. That right inner thigh should feel good. Let's lift up, straightening both legs, and now bending that right knee, doing the same thing we did to the other side. Feel that stretch on the left leg. Feel that inner thigh working. Flex that foot. Let's come back to center. Hands centered, shoulder distance apart. Soften the neck, just hang for a moment. Elbows bent directly behind you. Breathe. Breathe in, lift up, straighten your arms. Turning clockwise towards that right foot. Bending the right knee, coming back into low lunge. Pressing that right foot back as we come into plank. Shifting forward, lower all the way down with the chaturanga. Uncurl your toes, rest your forehead on the mat, and take a breath. Spread all 10 toes down. As you breathe in, let's lift up, coming into cobra. Pull those shoulders down, lengthen your neck. Soften your forehead to the mat. Deep breath in. We are now turning your head, looking over the right shoulder. Let's come back to center and lower your forehead to the mat. One more breath in. This time we're turning to the left, looking over that left shoulder. Breathe, everybody. Breathe while you're in this little turn, while you're laying on your tummy. Go ahead and turn your head back and lower your forehead down. Hands back. Have them closer to your ribs. Bring your legs together, feet together, point your toes. Press your hands into the mat as you lift up to upward facing dog. Soften those shoulders down. Breathe. Let's transition downward facing dog. Bend the knees. I want you to look between your hands. Go ahead and step forward 1 foot at a time as we lift up to Ardha Uttanasana. Relax the toes. Don't tighten them. Just balance on the 4 corners of your feet. Okay, let's go ahead and fold forward. Rest the torso on the thighs. Bend your knees. Soften your neck. Hands on the mat, palms up. Back to Lunar Uttanasana. Deep breath in. We're going to lift all the way up. Hands touch. Extended arms in mountain pose. Shoulders are relaxed. Torso is lengthened. Let's bring both hands back to the heart. Anjali Mudra. Okay, that was one side, guys. Let's do the other side. And I'm actually going to turn this way so that when we're doing the wide leg stretch, my back isn't towards you. Okay? All right. So, standing, Anjali Mudra, hands to the heart. Feet pressed firmly into the mat. Doing the other side. of moon salutation. All right, let's breathe in, reach up. Extended arms in mountain pose. You'll notice a difference with the breathing doing a moon salutation. Okay. Dive wide with the arms, hands on your sacrum, fingers up or down, okay? Elbows in, lengthen that spine a little bit more than you did the last time, and lean back. Try to bring those elbows together. Continue to breathe. Normally when we do sun salutations, let's go ahead and lean forward, bend the knees, hands on the mat, palms up, lunar uttanasana. We're moving to our ocean breath, right? And you're moving to the breath, like every movement changes as you're breathing. Hands down, let's step that right foot back. On the ball of the foot, press back through the heel. Left knee is bent directly over the ankle. Look straight ahead. But moon salutation, you're just moving and you're breathing. You're not moving to the breath. Okay? You might stay in a pose for a couple of breaths. Let's now shift and turn to the right, clockwise. Okay? Hands are centered, feet are parallel. We're going to bend the right knee this time first. Lengthening that left leg, resting on the heel, pressing down a little bit farther than you did last time to increase that stretch in the inner thighs or thigh. Let's come back to center. Legs are straight. You're more than welcome to walk your feet in a little bit closer if you need to. Bend that left knee as you straighten that right leg. Keep smiling, keep breathing. Let's lift back up, coming to center, hands centered, and just soften the neck, let the head hang. Breathing in, lifting up, moving counterclockwise, rotating both feet as we come back into that low lunge. I'm going to go ahead and step that left foot back into plank. Shift forward and slowly lower yourselves all the way down. Rest the forehead. Deep breath in as you lift up, coming into cobra. Lower the head. Another deep breath in, let's lift up. And this time let's look over that left shoulder. Come back to center and lower the forehead down. Last time, let's lift up. And let's look over that right shoulder. All right, let's come back to center and lower the forehead down. Legs together, feet together, hands move back. Push all the way up, upward facing dog. Transitioning, downward facing dog. Bend the knees, look between the hands, and step forward, lift up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Let's bend the knees, soften the torso, hands on the mat, palms up, tailbone is sinking down towards the mat, Lunar Uttanasana. Stretch to straighten the legs. We're going to lift all the way up. Extended arms in mountain pose or Utthita Hasta and Tadasana. And Anjali Mudra. release your hands. Awesome. How are you feeling? I love moon salutations. Hear me, moon sun salutations. I love moon salutations. Okay, guys. How much time do we have right now? Oh, yes. Look at that. We are doing well. I'd like to open our hips a little bit. Let's grab 2 blocks. We're going to do a wide leg stretch. So have about a leg's distance between your feet, okay? Right now my toes are pointing forward. I'm going to place a block behind my heels. I might have to move it, that's okay. Okay? We're going to start with I want you to mirror me, so your right foot, okay? You're going to turn it out so the toes are pointing out to the side. Let's straighten both legs. Your left foot, you're going to bring at a slight slant. Make sure your right heel is lined up with your left arch, okay? So that might kind of feel like walking on a tightrope or trying to balance on one. If you need to take your right foot out to the side a little bit more so you feel a little bit more balanced, a little bit more stable, that's fine to do as well, okay? All right, we're going to take our arms out to a T. I want you to dip your hip and reach as far as you can to the right. Lower your hand right here on the block. Your left arm is reaching up towards the ceiling. Shoulders are relaxed as we come into an extended triangle pose. You can look up at your hand or you can look down at your mat. Okay? I want you to work on twisting your torso towards the ceiling. Open yourself up. Really feel that stretch that's happening in the hip. Engage your core and breathe. All right, you can look down at your mat. We're going to go ahead and place that left hand on the hip. Keep that core engaged as you lift yourself all the way up. Beautiful. Release the hands. Let's do the other side. We're just going to change our feet. So now your left foot is pointing out. Okay, your right foot is at that slight slant. Okay, arms out to a T. Now dipping your hip all the way to the right. Reaching as far to the left as you can. Placing your hand down on your block as you lift your right hand up towards the ceiling. Shoulders are relaxed. Continue to breathe and twisting the body, trying to broaden your chest, showing it towards the ceiling. Relaxing the jaw. Continue to breathe. 2 more breaths. Beautiful. Go ahead and place your hand on your hip and let's lift ourselves up. Feet parallel. And let's go ahead and jump and step the feet together. Awesome. All right, guys. You can take the blocks off of your mat. And let's grab a blanket. Have the blanket ready for you to grab. Okay? Let's come back to the front of our mat. Breathe in, arms up, extended arms in mountain pose. Exhale the breath as you dive in forward. Lift up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Hands down, let's go ahead and step into downward facing dog. Let's take that left leg into the air, bend the knee, and I want you to travel forward. You're going to bring that left ankle behind your right wrist. Right knee down, uncurl the toe, grab your blanket. Okay, the blanket is going to come right here. And you're going to lower your pelvis down to the mat. Come forward onto your forearms. keep that left foot flexed. You can lower all the way down. If it feels good to you, you're more than welcome to grab a block, okay? And you can rest your head on the block. Pigeon Poles. Now, the more your shin is parallel to the front of your mat, the more of a stretch you're going to feel here in the hamstring, hip, butt area. Okay? This whole group of muscles right here. Okay? Keep your foot flexed to help protect the knee. You can go ahead and bring your heel closer into your pelvic area. All right? That way, there's less of a stretch happening here. If you are one like me who suffers from back pain, okay, I have lower back pain, 2 slip discs, sometimes the sciatic nerve, it hurts, okay? So the muscle is usually enlarged, it's swollen, right? So it's hitting against the nerve, which is making the back spaz. It's not good. So I usually feel a pain like from here, it'll go all the way down the butt area, down the leg, all the way down to my toes. Sometimes it'll tingle, like my leg's asleep. Sometimes it'll just be sharp pain. Sometimes my legs will go numb. It's awful. So stretching this helps, okay? Keeping this piriformis muscle stretched, not tight, it helps. It makes it, there are less, your sciatic nerve doesn't spaz as much, less spazzing, okay? So you don't have to lay down to do this. You can sit up, this is just crossing the ankle over the thigh. So even if you're sitting down, one foot on the ground, cross the other ankle over, place your hand on your knee, lean a little bit forward to really feel the stretch. That's all you have to do. You can do that in your seat while you're at your desk. Okay, that's long enough. Let's go ahead and lift ourselves up. Hands flat, shoulder distance apart. Uncurl those right toes, okay? Straighten the leg and lift up. You're going to take that left foot back. Towel's decided to roll up. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and take this left leg into the air. We're going to stretch it out, counteract what we just did. So leg is straight, open up the hip, try to touch your heel towards your bottom. Really feel that stretch that is happening in the leg, the side of your torso. You might even feel your butt stretching. Okay. Straighten the leg. We're going to level the hips and lower that left foot. Let's now do the other side. Lifting that right leg into the air, bending the knee, traveling forward, taking that right ankle behind the left wrist, and again having a seat on the leg. There we go. Flexing that right foot as you lean forward. Remember, you're more than welcome to use the block. Notice how this side is feeling compared to your other side. For me, this side is much more relaxed than my left side. My left side was just a lot tighter. So this stretch is feeling really, really good. Hopefully it's feeling good to you as well. Keep that right foot flexed. We'll stay here a few more breaths. Let's go ahead and lift ourselves up and move the block. Hands are flat on the mat. Uncurl the left toe, straighten the leg, and take that right leg back. Back to downward facing dog. Right leg in the air, open up the hip. Remember, you're just opening up your hips. Your torso is going to stay squared off at the front of your mat. Straighten the leg, level the hips, lower the foot. Let's take the ankle or the heels together. Excuse me. Knees to the outer edges of the mat. Big toes touch now. And lower all the way down into child's pose. Lift ourselves up. Take your legs from underneath you. Straighten the legs. Hands down by your side. Feet are flexed. Arms up. Extended arms in mountain, reach your arms up like you're in extended arms in mountain pose. Lean it forward. Go ahead and grab for the feet as we come into Paschimottanasana. Paschimottanasana. What a name, huh? Just means seated forward fold. Beautiful. Let's lift up. Let's go ahead and grab a bolster. Place it horizontally on your mat, vertically on your mat. Let's grab a blanket and fold it up as a pillow, top of your mat. Yeah, let's grab the two blocks. And let's go ahead and sit in Vodacomasana, soles of our feet together. Let's use the blocks as support underneath the knees. So again, we are grounding our sit bones down, right? Pressing them down, lengthening the torso. Soles of your feet are touching, and you have a block there to support your legs. You can place it on whichever setting you'd like, okay? Hands down. Elbows in, and let's lean back. I feel an overarch. I'm lifting up, leaning forward, and then lowering down. Make sure the pillow is just supporting the head. Arms out to a T. This feels so good. So whenever we recline, that's Supta, and then the pose, Vodacomasana. So Supta Vodacomasana. Into your body. How is it feeling? This pose hopefully feels very relaxing for you. Shouldn't feel any kind of tension. Just complete relaxation. Taking moments to pause is very, very good.
extremely relaxed in this pose. I know I am. It feels good knowing that you are supported by your bolster, your mat, even your blocks, right? Supported enough that you can let go. You don't have to engage any muscle. You don't have to hold anything up. You don't have to tighten anything. You can just be. You can just breathe and kind of just let your body settle into the pose. You know, let your body feel the benefits of the pose. And this is a part of the restoring. This is a part of the realigning yourself. Okay? It's through the restoring that you become realigned. When you relax yourself enough and just allow yourself to be, which means you're not doing, which means there's no resistance in you. You're allowing. That's what you're doing. You are allowing. You're in the flow. Right? If you're not flowing, then you're resisting it. So it's either one or the other. So this allows you to be in the flow. Let go. You're in a safe place. You don't have to hold on to any tension, any stress, any worries. That's not a part of being. Part of being is a knowing that everything is working out for the greater good. And you usually benefit from that, right? Peace of mind when we relax. Peace of mind when we're still. There's a calmness that comes. You can allow your eyes to close. Just kind of feel the muscles of the eyes relax. Even the eyelids, just have them barely closed. Like squeeze tight. Feel the muscles behind the eyeballs. Feel those relax. And then just feel your whole head relax. Feel it as it's kind of just melting into the pillow. Feel your back relax into the bolster. Notice how the entire back is just kind of wrapped around the bolster. And then of course as you're grounding your sit bones, you're feeling your butt muscles relax. Feeling the support of your mat. Feeling the support of the bolsters, or the blocks underneath your knees, which is allowing your inside of your thighs to stretch even more, right? There's an opening happening there, there's an opening happening in the hips. Stay here a little bit longer. still, or even while we're still, there's a certain calmness that just takes over. The mind slows down. And as a result, the body's able to slow down and relax. The breathing slows down. You're not quite in a sleep state, but almost in a meditative state, right? You're aware of what's going on. You're awake, but you just feel so relaxed. That's a good feeling. You want to try to do that at least once a day, okay? So even if you're not doing it during yoga, try to do it. Even if go sit in your car, go relax, or go take a nap and relax somehow. Well, not a nap, but if you have to go into your room and relax, or I don't know, take a moment anywhere you can and just quiet your mind. Let the body follow. The mind is so busy and the body tries to keep up. Tries to take us wherever our mind is thinking we need to go, right? So it's good to be calm, zen, relaxed. Give ourselves a chance to realign. Alright, let's go ahead and place our hands on the outside of the knees and use your hands to bring the legs together. Feet flat on the mat, and you can move the blocks to the side. We're going to roll over. Let's roll over on your left side. And let's move the blanket and the bolster off the mat. All right, we're going to roll onto the mat, and you might need to recenter yourself. Let's grab a block. Make sure it's near you, okay? I'd like for you to have your feet hip distance apart and bring your knees, bring your heels as close to your bottom as possible, okay? We're gonna get ready to go up into bridge pose. And during the transition, I want you to just start with grabbing the outer edges of your mat, all right? So we're gonna grab the outer edges. You're gonna take a deep breath in. I want you to lift all 10 toes and really press your feet into the mat while your 10 toes are lifted. Softly place your toes down, and let's start to lift the pelvis up towards the ceiling. Slide your arms underneath your back. Reach for the block. Slide the block underneath your sacrum, and slowly lower yourself down. You can continue to grab a hold of the outer edges of the mat. I want you to work on your legs. So the legs kind of, if you don't work on holding them together, they can just have a tendency to do this, right? So I want you to be aware of the legs. Keep your legs together, okay? Have them hip distance apart. And picture you're trying to roll your thighs inward to keep the legs together. Feel the muscles working to do that, okay? You can grab a hold of the side of the mat as well as slide the shoulders underneath your back again. We're going to continue to look straight ahead. Try to keep that natural curve in the neck. Again, let's lift all 10 toes. Press your feet into the mat. Gently place the toes down. Lift the pelvis up. We're going to move the block. Slowly lower yourselves all the way down. Let's go ahead and walk our feet to the outer edges of the mat. Knock your knees in together. And let's sit here for a moment. We're going to get ready to do that one more time. Oh yeah, it's going to be good. All right, let's heel toe the feet back together, back to hip distance apart, okay? Heels close to the bottom, grabbing the outer edges of the mat. Go ahead and press the feet in, slide the shoulders under, lift the hip bones up, not in that order. Grab your block, place your sacrum down. Breathe. Relaxing the muscles in the face. Let's bend that left knee into the chest. Go ahead and flex the foot. Straighten the leg. Point the toe. Flex the foot. Point the toe. Flex. Point. Flex. Point. Flex. Point. Bend the knee. Lower the foot. Let's do the other side. Bend that right knee into the chest. Straighten the leg. Flex. Point. Flex. Point. Flex. Point. Flex. Point. Flex. Point. Flex. Yeah, let's see if that flex. Bend the knee. Place the foot down. Lift the pelvis up, move the block, and lower yourselves down. Walk the feet out to the outer edges of the mat. Breathe. Alright, let's heel toe our feet closer together. Knees into the chest, feet into the air. Grab the outer edges of your feet, and let's come into happy baby. You can rock if it feels good to you. Love happy baby. Who doesn't love happy baby, right? This is a pretty awesome pose. Feels pretty good. You feel the stretches happening again. The inner thighs, right? Opening up the hips. Alright guys, if you're rocking, let's stop. Go ahead and bring the knees together and rock yourselves all the way up to a seated position. Okay, let's turn around. Move the blocks to the side. And let's go ahead and sit in whatever position you'd like to sit. Okay? Pressing those sit bones into the mat, lengthening that torso again. Hands down by your side. Go ahead and take a deep breath in, lift those arms up, and let's lean it forward. Hands shoulder distance apart. Extend and lengthen those arms, soften the neck, let the head hang. Good job. Lift the head and torso up, and just walk your hands back down by your side. All right, let's go ahead and place both hands to the heart. Take a deep breath in. As you're exhaling, we're going to bow the head and, of course, take this time to thank ourselves and honor ourselves for showing up on our mats. I hope that you are feeling realigned, restored, ready for the rest of this week, ready for the weekend. All right, let's lift up. Namaste.